So, I broke a nail. Pretty bad. It's pretty much all the way right here, and the only way to fix this, like I can't even trim it just because it's literally going all the way past my actual nail, going inside. So the way to fix this, I'm gonna show you guys 2 ways that I normally do, but then the 3rd way is how my sister told me to do this. It's using the Orly Nail Rescue. To do a quick fix, you need nail glue. I use this one by Kiss. It's their maximum speed nail glue. This stuff is really good. It works like a charm. And then extra, you need a tea bag. Quick fix, and then combining these 2 right here, basically you'll kind of extend the wear time of your nail until you can really fix the nail properly. But my first step is usually taking some kind of a nail file. I'll take the 180 grit and just go really gently alongside right here and over the breakage, just to make sure it's a little more even, because sometimes it can lift the nail. So that way I kind of just wanna just go over where it broke and just make sure it's nice and smooth and even. So next you take the glue, and you don't need a lot of this glue. I'm only going to go over basically like that and just take the flat portion. This right here is for my broken nail. And I just go over and I basically just take it over the broken spot. And this is literally the quickest fix ever. I wouldn't say it's the longest, just because you're not putting as much strength on the nail, but because this isn't such a big fracture or like a big break. Because sometimes I can break my nail like 3/4 of the way in, and that is what you really need, like all of the process. We just kind of basically keep going over and then make sure that's good. And you kind of give this a couple of minutes to dry. And I kind of like to do a couple of layers. I like to let the first one really dry down and then go over, kind of file it down again, and then go a second time and make sure it's like a double protection pretty much. Touch that, that's nice and dry just because it's a very thin layer. I like to go over that one more time with the file. You can see now it's fixed. Like I'm pushing on it and it's not coming undone. So we know that it's nice and secure now. I'm just gonna go with one more time. Just nice and thin, even layers. You don't wanna go too thick, but make sure you bring it to the very edge of where it fractured. And I sometimes like to bring it all the way on this side as well, just to make sure, because it's already weak on that point. This will just kind of help to make sure it didn't spread as much as we thought. I just want to make sure everything is even on my nail bed, and that's just the one way to fix your nail. I will say I like to put some type of nail polish on top just to make sure it's an extra protection of the nail. I don't like to keep them bare. At least do like a base coat and a top coat, even if it's just clear, or just continue with the color that I have going on. Very simple, very easy, it works. It's not the longest, but it does work for a very quick fix, and usually it will last for a week or so, depending how long I want to keep the nail polish, and if I'm doing just regular polish, or if it's gel polish, if it's dip. It all depends on what I put on top of my nail. But this is just a really nice, quick, simple fix. The next fix is using the nail glue plus a tea bag. I always keep, like you can see, I've been using this for a while. So basically, I'm gonna take the tea bag, I'm gonna cut it, and because my fracture or my break wasn't as big, I don't need such a big piece. So the first step is you just take the tiniest amount of glue back on that little fracture. You're gonna take your tea bag, you're gonna place it over, and usually you wanna bring it as close as possible to the crack, the tea bag itself. Then you take more of the glue and you go over the tea bag. Kind of just let it spread, do its thing. You don't need to overload, because then the glue is just gonna go all over your fingernail, and glue all over your fingernail, all in your cuticles is not great. It's not exciting stuff. And if it looks like you need more, you can always just take more glue. But you just want to spread it as even and as thin as possible, because you can always add more. I like this step. Yes, it's a little bit more. You need a couple more products, but the thing is, because of the fibers within the tea bag, that's what really helps to keep the nail secure for a longer period of time. And it really gives that rigidity to the nail, to the broken part of the nail. It's phenomenal. So this right here, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. I'm just waiting for this to dry completely, and then you'll go back over and you'll file it down to a point where it's nice, smooth, and even to go polish your nail. And this can take up to a couple of minutes at least, depending how much glue you took. And I like to go back over with the wooden pusher and just kind of make sure the glue in the tea bag is not glued to my actual skin, my finger. I like to touch it quickly, and that's pretty dry. So now what you do is you take the file and you very gently go over the parts where basically the tea bag ends, because you want to have a nice smooth transition. And I just do this very gently, because you don't want to actually just go crazy filing. Just what's necessary, pretty much. Just very light and gentle. I really just take my time to make sure I filed it down really well. And if it feels pretty smooth, it should be smooth. It might not look smooth, but it will once you paint it over. So now you can see, if you go back over, like you can't even see where the broken part of the nail is anymore. So that's phenomenal. So I think this is probably one of my favorite ways, using with the tea bag plus the glue, just because it really makes sure that the nail is nice and safe. It's rigid, it has the extra strength from the tea bag, those fibers kind of really holding everything in place, and you're good to go. And the thing is, this is really great for regular polish, gel polish, and I would just repeat the steps if you take the gel polish off, just to make sure you have the extra strength. But this is really perfect for regular nail polish, because you can just take it off and the actual glue and the tea bag will not come off. I would just repeat the steps until the nail is grown out to where you can really just get rid of that broken portion of the nail. Okay, so now that I have fixed my nail using the glue, and then the glue plus the tea bag, my fingernail feels great. It doesn't feel broken anymore. Obviously it still is, but the thing is, it just ensures that I can still have my fingernail this length and I don't have to chop everything else down to like the nubs pretty much. But let's go ahead and try this one right here on top of the same nail. Might as well, you know? Extra layers will not hurt anybody. It's just extra strength. So this right here, like I said, this is the Orly Nail Rescue. My sister Elina introduced me to this, and she said that this is incredible. It's basically kind of like a dip powder, but just for your broken nails. So what you get in the box, you get the brush on nail glue plus the nail repair powder, and then a tiny little file, which I'm probably just gonna use my own, but very simple instructions. This is not that expensive. I think I purchased it for under $12 on Amazon, which I think is great, because it's not like you break your nails every single day, unless you do, but that's another whole issue. But first step they do say is you brush the glue evenly over the entire nail to be repaired, and then be careful not to get glue on cuticles. Yes, that's like the biggest thing. If you use too much glue, like I said, just work in small little layers, thin layers, and you can always just add more product, just because if you put too much, you can't really take it away because it is glue, unless you like just go over and file your entire nail, your cuticle, and your fingers. So just work in small little sections or layers, and they do say you can repeat the steps a couple of times just to make sure it's nice and secure. So let's do this. First step, you brush it on, and then you immediately dip your entire fingernail into the powder. Okay. Let's just paint over this with the nail glue that's provided, making sure I'm not going over any cuticles or skin. I'm trying to work in sections. Dip it in, and then just tap this off to remove the powder. You can see basically where I placed that glue. But now what they're saying is you buff the nail lightly to smooth the surface. Okay. Basically, I'm going over the edges where I didn't apply it as even, which is like towards my cuticle. And plus, I don't want it to be chunky and bulky towards my cuticle. Yeah, this feels very solid on my nails. That feels really nice. I'm really glad I got this. Elina, thank you so much for introducing me to this. This is pretty much like the tea bag, but it's just kind of like that dip powder with the glue. And this is a lot faster too, I feel like. I'm like really impressed at how quick and easy that was. That was incredible. And I feel like this will last a really long time, this little system right here. I have this nail to paint and my thumb to paint, but I'm actually, it looks like I have a tiny little fracture on this one also. So I'm just gonna do the same thing with the Orly. This is really nice. I like how convenient this is. It's just the one thing is you don't wanna lose one or the other item because they kind of have to work together. But I love how convenient this is. This is amazing. For all you people out there that love longer nails and natural nails, but you use your hands a lot, I think this is pretty great. And they feel nice and solid, literally like a dip powder instead of all of those systems. The steps that you need to use for a dip powder is just a 2-step, which is great. And I'm using the gelish system. Actually, first I'm gonna do the peel off base coat. Awkward 2 fingers. And just like that, my nail is fixed. Actually, both the nails are fixed. And they feel very nice. They have that nice rigidness. They're not thick. It still looks like my nail, which it really is, but they feel really nice and secure. Like it's not gonna break unless I just really smack my hand or nail or smash them somehow. But those are my top 2 ways to fix it. But then the third way, like I said, it was a new one for me. My sister Elina recommended this, and I feel like I'm just gonna be going over to this method right here from now on. Very quick, it's not as messy, and they feel very nice and secure, and the entire nail gets coated, so that's a really good thing. And the nail glue, it's not as thick as this one right here. And I do like that it's a brush instead of the little squeezy tube, which I think you have a lot more control over. But yeah, I'm really happy that brands are coming out with solutions for your nails, for your broken nails, because you know what, sometimes it's a really bad break and you don't want to cut off all of your other fingernails to match the length of the new broken nail. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found some new ways to fix your nails using just simple nail glue with a tea bag, or this new little system that I've discovered because of my sister. Again, I'm excited and I'm gonna keep using this little system. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye.